On this episode of Project Stealth Mode, the exterior of the Stealth RT Twin Turbo gets some much needed TLC. Welcome back to the Auto Obsessive Garage. Chadwick with you again for another installment of Project Stealth Mode. On this episode, we address some of the concerns with the exterior of our Dodge Stealth. Those major concerns are the peeling trim that needs to be totally done over. We also need to do something to spruce up the paint a little bit. It hasn't been thoroughly cleaned for quite some time, so probably a good detailing is in the cards for that. We also want to address the tires. So it has pretty worn down tires, completely worn down tires to be truthful with you. So we're gonna get the new ones installed. That should help a lot in the grip department. Speaking of wheels and tires, let's talk about the wheels. They're in pretty good shape for stockers, being almost 30 years old, but they do have a good amount of curb rash on them. So we're gonna remedy that, clean them up, bring them back to a nice clean finish. Let's get in the garage and get to work. So we've got a lot of trim I want to restore to actually make the car look great. Right here, this kind of windshield under tray. Paint's completely faded off. Sand it down, repaint it. Same with the windshield wipers. We've got some pretty good kind of rust fade there. Same deal. Sand them, paint them. It'll make it look really nice. And we're also going to go ahead and start prepping the car. You know, we've got these window trim pieces that you can see the chrome on. So those need to be sanded, painted. Same with any other faded black plastics. This one up here definitely needs to be touched up at the top of the rear windshield here. So make sure we tape everything off so we're not ruining our paint. And then we'll respray it with a trim color and it'll look really nice. So let's go ahead and start off under the hood and get these trim pieces out here. This little windshield cowl and the wipers. Some basic signs if your windshield wipers are worn. Rust on the actual wiper itself, and then, you know, the rubber blade kind of just falling off here. Remember to replace your wiper blades, guys. Fine. It's a little funky under here. Got some leaves kind of rotting down there, so good idea to clean this whole area up while we have it off. What we have laid out before us is all the trim I need to take care of. So you have the hood cowl, windshield cowl, however you want to say it. That's really faded through this region. You have the wiper arms, as you can see, completely gone. There you go. And then these are the center caps for the Dodge Stealth factory wheels. These also need to be restored. So plan of action for this kind of work is to hit it up with some 400 grit sandpaper, get it all nice and smooth, take off any imperfections, any chips, any, you know, flaking material, get that off of there. Then we're gonna go ahead and wipe it down with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, to clean off any dust, any residue, and then we're gonna just spray it down with some trim paint. So it's kind of like a matte, kind of satiny, I guess you'd say, black that'll match factory trim and make all this look a lot better than it does now. And I love this step. This is so crucial for making a car look so much better on the exterior. So these little details really add up. So let's go ahead and start this. Isopropyl alcohol is really great because it takes off greases and oils. It'll also take all the dust that we created by sanding, and it evaporates quickly. So give it enough time to dry. You obviously don't want to put paint down while you still have, you know, wet alcohol on your items. Allow it to dry. Give it about an hour or so on the long end just to be safe, and then go ahead and start spraying everything. It's come time to put some paint down on these parts. You want to put quite a few coats down, especially on the hubcaps, because they are going to be exposed to rock chips and more debris than these other parts. So everything deserves a few coats, and put a little extra onto those. But let's get spraying. Time to get working on this peeling trim on the outside of the Stealth. The worst part is up where the hatch connects to the roof. As you can see, the paint is just completely flaking off, and there's a little bit of surface rust and corrosion. That's nothing bad, trust me. I'll be able to sand that down and primer it. So yeah, it just doesn't look good, right? It totally detracts from how the vehicle looks, especially on the sills here. So we're gonna go ahead and remove all this excess material, probably get some razor blades in there, kind of flick all that off, sand it down really nice, get it nice and scuffed up. Same with up here. I might put a layer of primer as an extra level of protection. Then I'm gonna tape it off and paint it trim color matte black and make it look brand new. It'll help a ton with how the car looks. These little issues on the exterior like this really detract from how a vehicle looks overall. So let's go ahead and start taking all this off. It's gonna take some time, I'm sure, just to show you the condition of this paint peeling. I mean, just look at this. You can pretty much just peel this stuff right off. So I'm gonna get some tools, obviously some gloves and eye protection, and get the rest of this off. What we're gonna do now is try to touch up the Stealth wheels. There's a bit of curb rash on some of them that we're gonna need to resolve. So what I'm gonna do is try to take down the high peaks with my Dremel with a little sanding stone on there, try to get it down smooth, and then we'll see if we have to fill any deeper grooves. I don't wanna repaint them because they're actually in really good shape. They're not discolored or anything. So I'm just gonna try to take that down, then use various levels of sanding discs and get that nice and smooth and get it closer to a factory finish without the big gouges. So let's go ahead and get to work. Okay, done using the sanding stone on my Dremel, and as you can see, there's no major curb rash anymore. It's not perfect, but as you can see, all the wheels now have smoother edges. Much better. So I'm going to use some various sandpaper now and kind of blend that down where I inadvertently shined it a little bit using that stone. Very happy with this, guys. Let's get these wheels cleaned up. Here you can see our brand new Dunlop Dureza tires in the stock spec size. So the Stealth came with pretty beefy tires for its time, 245, 45, 17. So a lot of grip for a vehicle from 1991. Here are the new tires. As you can see, a ton of grip, brand new. They look awesome. And check out the Stealth wheel too. The stock wheel is in absolute gourmet condition. Came out great. We did paint these center caps too. Bring them back to factory fresh, and the wheels just finished up excellently. And now they've got some really grippy tire wrapped around them, so we're in a very good spot. This is looking really good. It looks showroom fresh, like it just rolled off the factory floor. So awesome. You can see our beautiful painted calipers and new rotors and pads behind there. This is how you do a restoration, guys. This is looking awesome. One of my pet peeves is when the license plate frame does not match the make of the vehicle. So let's get these ones off here. I'm gonna put some more fitting ones on, and I hope you guys agree that they're a cool choice. But sometimes it's these little touches that add to the car a little bit, taking off these old dealer plates and put something a little more fun on. And here's the new plate frame, RT, in red. That is so fitting for this car. It looks so perfect with the color scheme we've got going on, and it's accurate. It no longer says Honda. It's the little touches, guys. How sweet is that? We're gonna attempt now to get that Stealth paint looking nice and shiny. So first things first, we're gonna use Meguiar's clay bars to get there and really try to take that paint back down. I have a feeling there's a lot of contaminants, a lot of material on the paint. Plus, this hopefully will remove the etched in watermarks. Stepping up to the compound next, we'll use that, followed by the polish, followed by a good wax, the appropriate buffing discs, the Meguiar's DA power system here. Big fan of this. I've used this a lot. It just goes on a normal drill. Look, it's not professional grade, guys, but it's gonna do a pretty good job. So I'm hoping all this combined really gets us to where I wanna be and make the Stealth look as good as it should. Get yourself some clay. Get it all nice and soft. Get yourself a bottle of warm soapy water. And it's time to clay bar the car.